OneTox represent Solomon Island people say. We people start originally from my homeland. Like my old man say, there's nothing impossible. So we have to bring this message to my brother lyrical. Straight from the crew, out to the blue. We represent the voices of my ancestors calling. And I was getting more and my culture is falling. Now we have a step up for the past 20 calling.
Once down, when we stop, ain't nobody gonna stop us. People, everybody, would you listen to us for a start? No point complaining in this we partaking. We represent the cause of the ones falling. We resemble true art when we bust the line.
Previously on Delos, we did some incredible diving at Cocos Keeling, and even saw manta rays. And our friends Rick and Joe let us crash at their beach pad to stretch our legs. An atoll is really just an old island. So old, in fact, that the center of the island has disappeared, washed away by eons of weather and sea. Only a fringing coral reef remains, protecting a tranquil inner lagoon from the harshness of the open ocean. Not only do atolls provide shelter for wayward sailors, but they also harbor a crazy marine ecosystem in their warm and shallow waters. On the south end of Direction Island, there's a pass through the atoll, known locally as the Rip. The southeast trades pump here, blasting swells right over the reef and into the lagoon. This constant current leads to an explosion of fish and coral. All you have to do is jump in upstream and enjoy the ride.
So what's the deal here? Well, we're at the Rip, and it's ripping. It's low tide, so the area that the water flows is a lot smaller than it normally is, so the speed of the water is picking up. But it's also shallower, so if you go off to the side one way, you might get caught on top of the coral and rip your belly apart. But also to take the dinghy up might be tough too, because it's quite shallow where we normally drop people off. We'll make it work.
You ready, Yoshirama?
That was super cool. A lot of sharks, massive parrotfish, and it was very sort of, you get an adrenaline kick because it's so quick and it feels like very dramatic, and then you come up and Brady's like with the dinghy. But it was super, super awesome.
Yeah, I think my favorite is the sideways dolphin. When Joshua did that one, I was like, yep, this is what it's all about.
What is the sideways dolphin?
You go like this and then you go, but you do it like, because you're going in the current, and then you, and you like tap back and forth. It's awesome. We can go in and do it if you want. It's so much fun though, because you it's so fun. You feel like a dolphin, you're like, yeah, you fucking just and then you...
Oh man, the rip ripped it up. Put the planing board behind the dinghy and the barrel rolls. Sharks. It's fun. Going off. It was going off. Except I hit my knee on some rock and it hurts. But I've got a beer.
Beer will make it better.
So because I got provisions when we did our ball pass out thing,
we've decided that we each drew a little paper ball.
Provisioning. I'm gonna provision the shit out of that place.
It's gonna be our first Cocos Keeling Island cultural experience.
I hear it's really expensive, so
we're going over to Home Island, which is apparently where all the Malaysians live. So we're gonna go pick up one of the other cruisers, Ernst, because his outboard's broken. So we're gonna give him a lift over so he can fix his outboard. So it's gonna be a bit of a date day with Ernst. All of our trash from our passage. So that's good. And yeah, we're gonna go find the supermarket and do some provisions, but it seems awfully quiet here. I haven't really seen a single person yet. So who knows? Maybe it's some sort of public holiday. Okay.
Did you just hear that? He said g'day. This place is weird, man. This place is real weird. There's like, when you ride around on scooter, I mean on little like four-wheeler things instead of scooters, and like bikes everywhere, and all the Malaysians have Australian accents, which is freaking me out. So we have our vessel anchorage registration form, and we have to turn it into the Shire of Cocos Keeling. I don't know what a shire is, but we're here. Okay.
No worries then.
Cool, thank you very much.
Cool, thanks a lot.
No worries, bye.
Here's the supermarket.
Shamrocks.
We're in the supermarket. Looks pretty good.
Oh, we've got ice cream.
Oh no! No Magnum!
We've got a big freezer here. Let's see what's in it. We've got chicken. That's good. We haven't had chicken in a long time.
Is it just chicken breast?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, bags of it. How much for this one?
It's $17 a kilo.
Oh.
Yeah.
And this one?
This one, if it's 1 kilo, it's $14, but if it's 2 kilos, it's 28.
Okay.
Yeah.
$7 a load.
$7.50.
The store was stocked with goodies we hadn't seen since mainland Australia. There was even fresh produce flown in weekly. The only problem? It was super expensive. 200 Aussie dollars for some fresh veg and Tim Tams. Ouch.
Because Ernst is looking for an outboard mechanic and he's been waiting at this one here. And I saw a couple of outboards in that shop. So I just went and asked the guy if he repaired outboards. He said, yeah. And then he said, just bring it in. And he pointed to his bike. He said, yeah, just take it and bring it in.
Sweet.
Okay. And then he said, if you want to go take it around the island, we can.
Fun.
So we found this dude to fix Ernst's outboard, or at least look at it. And we're waiting, he's told us to go take his four-wheeler for a ride.
Okay, you good. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The Malaysian population here was originally brought in to work the coconut plantations. The coconut business is long gone, but the relatives live a pretty sweet life on this little slice of paradise.
It's like a modern mosque.
Should we go left?
Yeah. So chill, like everyone's just riding around in their little four-wheelers, just like, hello, they're all cousins, and it's real relaxed. It's awesome. And it's beautiful. Riding around in our little...
So it went pretty smooth. We got fresh produce. I mean, it was crazy expensive, but we got fresh produce sorted out. Yeah. And we got this outboard finished all in one day, which never happens.
Okay. Success.
The crazy prices made us double our efforts to be real sailors and live off the sea. But the only thing we caught was our own trolling line. Some local guys told us about a secret rock on the other side of the island. A rock that was reported to have hundreds of lobsters living in the ledges underneath. It was supposed to be a sure bet. Unless, of course, there was just a Malaysian wedding party that past weekend that cleaned them all out. So we resorted to hunting smaller crabs in the shallows. Oh, brother, we're in trouble. Some things were a little easier to get our hands on.
So good. Let's get the meat out.
But one cannot live solely on coconuts, so we broke out the spear guns. The past 2 years in Asia were a real eye-opening experience. The overfishing has taken a dramatic toll on the environment, and on many reefs the fish were completely gone. In fact, the only place where fish existed in any numbers were protected parks and sanctuaries. It was so heartbreaking, we stopped fishing altogether for a while. No spearing, no trolling, no nothing. But Cocos has a healthy and vibrant reef, one that is capable of replenishing itself if treated with respect. And with a local population of around 600 people, it's possible to fish here without taxing the local resources. So it was game on. I was on the hunt for coral trout, peacock cod, grouper, or snapper. If it would dart under a coral ledge to evade me, it's a pretty sure sign it's something delicious. Once you got something, it was straight out of the water and into the dinghy ASAP. Hit or miss, the sound of the gun brought these guys in. They knew it meant a possible free snack. The white and black tip reefies weren't a problem, but these guys gave us pause for concern. Gray sharks are bigger and have a completely different presence. When they rolled in, it was time to move on. On most afternoons, Karen and I would load up Maggie and head out. The spearing was great, and the troops were always hungry. We visited a different spot every day so we wouldn't stress the population too much in any one place. If you thought the veggies on Cocos were expensive, you'd probably have a heart attack if you walked into the bottle shop. We'd been buying expired beer, but that was still about $75 for the cheapest rack of cans. With 7 thirsty sailors on board, that didn't go very far. And with Yoshirama's birthday bash approaching, we kicked the still into high gear.
Chocolate party! So we've been kicking ass with making our liquor recently. We've just been running the still every night and filtering overnight so that every morning we have another bottle. And now I'm just going through and flavouring everything, which is my favourite part. And so far we have a white rum, a gin, a vodka, and now I just made a Jamaican rum.
Wait, what does that say? Plus or minus 40%?
Well, give or take.
Give or take 5%?
Yeah. And this one is 40%. Delish. I think we're preparing for a big weekend and my birthday next week.
We're going on a morning walk and I always wake up Mac and he's up. I always wake up Max and he's very tired. Always. So we're going to take the kayak and paddle into the beach and go for a walk.
The crew was settling right in at Cocos, and we were in no hurry to go anywhere. It's pretty rare to find a place so special, so we decided to kick back and stay for a while. Beautiful water, endless beaches, and the whole place to ourselves. That's the beauty of cruising. Want to stay for a month? No worries. Chagos wasn't going anywhere, so what's the rush? Up next, we have an awesome beach day with friends. Get to swim with wild dolphins. And Yoshirama celebrates her birthday Delos style.